Okay, who had a nice vacation, a nice little Thanksgiving week? I had a tremendous Thanksgiving week. I wasn't able to make any new content, and that's always such a bummer, but here we are now, making more content, and I figured what better way to come back to making content than by looking through my tweets that I sent while I was on vacation and getting a nice little chuckle out of the people I made angry for reasons I'm still not entirely clear on. When I was on vacation, I was pretty limited in my Twitter interactions. I was really only scrolling Twitter and posting things while I was on the pooper, but much like some other tweets I've had in the past where I say something completely obvious that I think everyone should be on the same page about, I apparently had 3 cases where that didn't happen, and people got upset and started yodeling at me through the internet. So here in this video, we're just going to take a little trip through the tweets I sent out while I was on vacation, and we're going to respond to all my really deep-thoughted critics at once, one right after another, and we can see what kind of amazing brain thoughts you guys were making while we were all on vacation. Yes. Roll. Yes. Roll the things, the clips, the screenshots. Can you tell I haven't recorded a video in like a week and a half? So we'll start here. Nib, right after it was confirmed that Stalker 2 was selling really well, a lot of people in the PlayStation camp decided to try and take Stalker 2's financial success and twist it into somehow being something negative because it launched on Game Pass, and we all know that if a game launches on Game Pass, then it's impossible for a game to sell well, which is why Stalker 2 sold 1 million copies in the first 2 days. But we won't talk about that. Nib did his stupid thing where he writes a 5-paragraph essay about some kind of point to make himself sound smart and make Sony look good, but his point here makes no goddamn sense. He's trying to make the argument that we shouldn't be taking Stalker 2's success on PC as an indication of its overall success, and his example of that is the comparison between Metaphor and Silent Hill 2, because Metaphor had more concurrent players on Steam than Silent Hill 2 did, even though Silent Hill 2 is believed to have outsold Metaphor worldwide, I think is the point he's trying to make. Never mind the fact that we're comparing the sales of one of the most widely recognized and widely publicized horror IP in history. We're comparing that to the sales of a JRPG with a name attached to it that not many people outside of the JRPG crowd are even going to understand. Also, whoa, gee willikers, apparently some multi-platform games sell more copies on one platform than the other. Wow, I sure needed 5 paragraphs of nib text to understand that. But I quote tweeted Nib rather facetiously and said, "Oh, don't pay attention to PC sales because some games sell less copies than other games. Whoa, slow down, you might start a fire with your deep analysis." I got a response from Jamal Drake, who said, "Lol, the PC nerds are triggered just because he said Steam is always a good measure of game sales, which is factually true, but it hurts PC nerds' feelings when someone says it." Which, this doesn't even make sense. You're saying I'm triggered because Nib was trying to say that because one game sold better on PC than a different game, that somehow means we're supposed to disregard Steam sales numbers all around? People were saying Stalker 2 was a success because it had an explosive launch on Steam. This was before we even knew about the 1 million copies, across Steam and Xbox. Nib tweeted this out in direct response to the people saying that even though Stalker 2 had a really explosive start on Steam, that means it's not actually a success. Don't say that's a success because it was a Game Pass game. If it was any other game that didn't launch on Game Pass, nobody would be making these arguments, as evidenced by all the other multi-platform games that don't launch on Game Pass, and nobody makes these arguments. But also, you're here saying it's factually true that Steam is always a good measure of game sales? What? No. There's plenty of multi-platform games that sell tremendously on Steam and sell tremendously overall. There's other games that sell rather poorly on Steam and are still sales successes. Steam is not always an indication of a game's overall success, but a successful Steam launch is still to be celebrated. That's the point I was making, and that's the point that everyone was making, and that Nib was trying to disprove. But apparently, I'm triggered, and it hurts my feelings because I pointed out that someone is wrong about something. I'm the emotional one in this situation because I pointed out what somebody said and wrote a Twitter essay about was stupid and wrong. I eagerly await your rebuttal, sir. The Devil's Production replied to me and said, "Aw, did not like what he said. It's kinda true, not all games do well on PC. You be an fool to think that Lamau the various reasons." Phenomenal English here. You're doing terrific. But also, yes, it is true that not all games do well on PC. I literally never said that wasn't true. What is true is that it is stupid to try and suggest that an extremely successful Steam launch does not equal a successful launch of the game. The numbers that Stalker 2 was putting up in its launch window on the PC were fantastic, as evidenced by the fact that it was later confirmed by the developers themselves that over 1 million copies were sold in the first 2 days. We can also gather a lot from the Steam charts and from the information of the PC sales that we do know. Stalker 2 had a phenomenal launch on the PC, and the numbers that it was putting up on the PC are indicative of an overall successful launch for a game of this size and stature. What Nib was trying to say here is that PC launch numbers are not indicative of the overall success of the game, which, yes, is true in other cases, but in this case, it is indicative of a successful launch because the PC numbers were fantastic. They weren't just good, they were great. But also, looking at the way you type, I'm not surprised that my point is flying over your head. Can you read? You can't type. Can you read? Read, please. Oh, but we have to press pause on that video because I have to say thank you to the Doofus Club! Dude, so many people have been joining the Doofus Club, and I am so fucking stoked, and I'm so honored that you guys would spend your 99 cents on me. If you don't know, the Doofus Club is my channel membership program. You can zip on right down there to the join button and join the Doofus Club. What do you get with the Doofus Club? Well, you get a couple nice little emotes here. I'm going to work on some new ones to add to the existing tier. You also get those nice shiny badges that tell everyone that you're a big old doofus. I'm going to work on custom badges in the near future as well. I'm trying to spice up the 99-cent tier. We're going to make this the spiciest 99-cent tier on YouTube. That's the goal. But you also get to be part of the Doofus Club shoutouts in every single video. Yes, every single video I'm going to do this. So on Monday, December 2nd, the Doofus Club was Kibakins, I American Idiot, Boofner, Antwain Horton, Rebel Blood 80, Stephen Christensen, All Games Vidya, Oracle, Dakota, Ryan McCardle, Raven Bloodrot, Henthai, oh, I get it. Justin Mab, Runroy, Ranrui, Stoico, Hero Culture, Luke Bayless, Bloodline, Extreme the Wolf 7, Toonie Wayne, Gaming with Dead People, Joe Taku, Puddintain, Joey Scoops, Jidge, Totally Not Retro, Westa, Wannabe Hobo, Master of Nothing, Bill at 310 Char, Geekstar. Geekstar? Did I say it right this time? Oh, I really hope I said it right this time because I can't find the fucking screenshot of the way that you said you were supposed to say this. Veg, Rob C, Kurt and Alan Spack, Crumpet Cun, the Scrum Master, and the Groovy Banana. So if you want to be part of the Doofus Club, head on down to the join button and join the other doofuses. We can all be big doofuses together. Have I said doofuses enough yet? Okay, back to the video. Bye! Okay, let's go on to the second one. After it was reported that Sony was nearing a deal to buy out the owner of From Software, Unleashed... Oh god, this one was bad. I'm 99% sure Unleashed is trolling, but fucking Christ. 24/7 LARPing as the most insufferable person alive? That's really not a W. But he says, Sony's first party title to be Elden Ring with a peak of 950k on Steam, absolutely obliterating Black Ops 6 on Steam. And then he showed a screenshot of concurrent player counts where Black Ops 6 actually had Black Ops 6, it cut off in this screenshot. You can find the post yourself, though. In the comparison screenshot he's showing here, 42,000 people are playing Elden Ring, but there was 200,000 people on Black Ops 6. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the obliterating in your caption came from, unless we're talking about all-time peak numbers, in which, yes, Elden Ring's all-time peak is much higher than Black Ops 6's on Steam, but that's also not what the current tense of obliterating would suggest. You're saying it's obliterating Black Ops 6 as in right now, but then you showed a screenshot that proved it's not right now. This is so low effort, and yet you had people defending you. And that's why after I quote tweeted him and I said, I'm begging you to play literally any video game instead of, just playing Twitter. But then Silicon Samurai responds and says, you sound hurt, bro. I love when PlayStation fanboys do this. A PlayStation fanboy says the dumbest thing on the planet. You point out that it's the dumbest thing on the planet. And then they come in, they're like, you sound hurt, man. Why you hurt? Why you hurting, bro? Get mad. Stay mad, get pwned, noob. It's like, motherfucker, I wouldn't be here if you didn't say the dumbest thing imaginable. If you want to stop hurting me, then stop saying the dumbest things imaginable. It's that simple. You're not hurting me in the traditional sense. You're hurting my faith in what we can do as a species. Platinum Collector responds and says, you're fuming. I'm fuming because I made fun of someone trying to compare Elden Ring and call Elden Ring a, what did he call it? A first party title to be? How desperate for W's are we in the PlayStation camp right now? First party to be? The well of braggable first party titles really runneth that dry? But remember, I'm fuming. I'm going to make fun of you people and make a lot of money while doing it, but I'm fuming. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Great insight here. This one's my favorite. Smoke Capone responds and says, I'm begging you to do the same and share that sentiment with your fellow Xbox and PC cucks also. Why is it y'all are nowhere to be found with the stadium-packed crowd of them are all like, posting the exact same shit and they're still not playing those games y'all brag about? So apparently I'm an Xbox cuck, by the way. I don't own an Xbox, but I'm an Xbox cuck. Also, today I learned I don't play video games. I have this YouTube channel over 16,000 subscribers where I play video games in the background of every single video. A pretty wide variety of video games, I like to think, as well. Like, yeah, there's certain types of games that I'll put gameplay of more frequently because they're just easier games to get gameplay. You know, it's it's easy for me to record a commentary and be like, oh, the commentary is 25 minutes long. I need to go get 20 minutes of gameplay. That's like 2 games of Black Ops 6. Or it's like, that's like a run and a half of Brotato. I'll just hop those on. That's easy. And now I'm rambling because I have a lot of opinions on video games and what kinds of video games I like to play because, I play video games. I don't post shit like this nonsense fuckery right here. But by all means, that's the side we're going to take. You've won when they whip out the no you. It's like people are just being stupid. People obviously don't actually play video games. They obviously don't actually care about it. But then when you point that out, the only thing they have in return is no you. When you could just, click on my profile and immediately see that I do indeed play video games. But I guess we'll move on. Third one, on the topic of Elden Ring. The news came out that From Software's parent company are preparing themselves for an acquisition deal with Sony. Everybody press F in the chat. I quote tweeted and said, it's almost time, with the meme of Elden Ring with an annoying modern gaming UI. I get a response from Silicone Samurai. Remember him? He's been following me around. Don't worry, I'm the emotional one here. Says, looks fine to me, and has a screenshot of a game that was not ruined by Sony. So in response to the meme about future games being ruined by Sony's interference, you posted a tweet of a game where Sony did not interfere because they didn't have creative control over it. And you think this is a winning point. I'm here saying this thing that is going to happen in the future could have these ramifications. And your rebuttal to me is, oh yeah, well, look at this thing from 8 years ago that existed long before the thing that's going to happen happened. My boy, you need to try harder than this. If you're going to follow me around, I need you to try harder. This is bad. Joker responds, lol, the bots are really reaching with this old meme. PlayStation games don't have that UI. Yeah, no game has that UI. It's an exaggeration. It's obviously a meme. Bloodborne and Demon Souls both look exactly like how FromSoft games normally look. Yes, because Bloodborne and Demon Souls were developed by a From Software that wasn't owned by modern Sony. Like, this isn't an argument. I guess you bots are in full copium mode. Why am I a bot? Like, why am I a bot? I don't understand why I keep getting lumped in with the bots because I point out that PlayStation fanboys are fucking dumb. I don't own an Xbox. I guess that's not true. I have the Xbox One VCR edition. That's basically just my Hulu machine, and it has been for like 4 years now. If that makes me a bot, then I'm just gonna go sit in a box somewhere because that makes no sense. I guess you bots are in full copium mode. Hope all their games become exclusive just to see you bots cry. Oh, okay, cool. So PlayStation's not going to ruin the games, and it's dumb for us to point out that PlayStation's going to ruin the games, but also I hope PlayStation takes the games away from you, which, if you're an actual gamer and not just a corporate stooge, that would be ruining the games in a grander sense. But we're just going to jump right over that one. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to leave that one right in our dust because we have no explanation for why we said that. Toodaloo, guys. I just said the dumbest thing imaginable. Woo! That's you right now. But I mean, you're also unironically calling yourself Joker at Agent of Chaos. I really hope your parents get back together. So that's the stuff that got yelled at me while I was on vacation. I'm glad we got to do that and get back into the swing of things. I'm gonna use the next couple days to catch up on all the news and all the gossip and all the salt that I missed out on while I was out of town. I sure do hope nothing wild happens in the next 48 hours and completely throws off my schedule. But until then, I bid you adieu. Join the Doofus Club for 99 cents a month. I'm gonna start working on some new stuff for that. I'm also working on a little merch shop, question mark, you know, some stickers. You want some Joe from Seattle stickers and maybe a Joe from Seattle mouse pad? I don't know, we'll see. Okay, thanks for watching this. Toodles.